What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look at Magistus. This is something that I've been playing for a while now. For some reason, I just have a soft spot for this deck. I really like playing it, so I'm going to go ahead and show my most modern deck profile, and then I'll show a few gameplay videos. It's unbelievably fun, like to play. It's so dumb. It's not good, but it does have some really interesting concepts, and I do believe that in the future there could be like a pretty good deck here. Underneath all of this, there is like some pretty good resource loops. It's just a little underpowered. But let's get into the card by card. 3 copies of Imperm, 1 copy of Nibiru, 3 copies of Ash, 2 Droll, and then 2 Effect Veiler. I run 3 Crossout. You really can't afford like an Imperm on your normal summon most of the time. So you really gotta like have those out for those kinds of cards in particular. So, but you do get to run still like a hand trap lineup. Like the deck is very simple. It runs through one monster, so there's not a lot of things that you need around it. On to the Magistus monster. So you're gonna run all of them, obviously. Okay, so Crowley is gonna be at 3. So Crowley is great at discarding both of these monsters. Witch of the Black Forest is like one of the best resource loops in the deck. This is like an honorary Magistus card. I mean, it pretty much is at this point. And then Performance Trick Clown. You discard it, you get it right back. So it's a free quote unquote rank 4. 2 copies of Zoroa. This is something you can bring up from the deck, so you don't really need to play that many copies of it. Seeing it in your hand is just kind of like whatever. 3 copies of the Endymion. This is one of your better play starters, especially if you see one of these in your hand. You just do Endymion, search Crowley, and then you go from there. 3 copies of the Vere. So you definitely do need this card because it searches the most important card, Trismegistus. What a weird name. Why do you call it that? But okay. This helps you get spellcasters out of your hand, and it's like good follow up too. It can also like kind of like be like a weird pendulum summon too, because it lets you bring out a bunch of Magistus monsters from your hand. And then I talked about the 2 Performance and 2 Witch. I used to run these at 3, but I just like saw them. They don't do anything on their own, obviously. So I like took out one each of these and put in Pot of Prosperities. So that's kind of how that worked out. Onto your Magistus spells. I'll just move these up now. I might as well. 1 copy of the Magistus Verret. Oh, this is the dumb. Okay, now I'm realizing how dumb these cards' names are. I've always just like seen them through the picture, and I like kind of know what they do. Wow, that's so dumb. That doesn't even make sense. But this is a Monster Reborn, so it also protects you. You get to banish a card from your graveyard, so that's kind of nice. I have used this card. I thought about taking it out, but there are instances where I've needed to search this card out with your Vere. This is Magistus Invocation. I'm pretty sure the lore has something to do, obviously, with Alistair the Invoker. I think this is like before he went crazy. I don't remember what the lore is, but it's good because you get to fusion summon using your equip spells, and then you just get to equip them back with like Crowley and your Vere. So that's cool. 3 copies of this card. We talked about that. I'm not going to say it. Trismegistus. Okay. 2 copies of Spell Power Control. This searches you this card. There are no other valid targets. As much as you like want there to be, there's just nothing worth playing within the Endymion archetype like that would fit in this deck. I'm pretty sure I've looked a lot. 2 copies of Pride of Prosperity. I used to run an Exo Sister package, or I was testing it for a while, and I've kind of like stripped it down to its most bare bone properties. So this card lets you XYZ summon during, well, it is during your opponent's turn technically because it is a quick play spell. And you get to, if you can make a rank 4, you can turn these into cards that like are more floodgates. Like your opponent can activate cards from the graveyard, or one's an Imperm. Or if you already open this card, you can make one of these and then turn it into Magistus, which is a banish. So I recommend this. There are a few times where it will be awkward and you'll see it in the replays, but I do think it's worth playing overall. 1 copy of Called by the Grave, and then 3 copies of Crossout Designator, like I've talked about. Onto the extra deck. You do want to run at least 2 copies of the Fusion because you want to be able to equip one and then special summon one. 1 copy of Dragite. 2 copies of Calamity. You definitely want to be able to make this second time. Now, it does come back from the graveyard, but it doesn't equip anything. It just comes back. So, a lot of the times you do need to make a second one. Or there are times, I should say. This is the Divinity Dragon. This is probably one that you can banish off of Pride of Prosperity. I've brought this out only a handful of times, and it's only because like it's the only card I could use. It's not very good. I mean, if it's destroyed, okay, you get to destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls, but yeah, I've just never been in the position to like really use this card to its full abilities. And then I talked about this little package here. So I run 1 Magistus, and one. These names are crazy. Asophil? What? One copy of Exo Sister Gibrine. Oh lord, I don't think I'm saying any of these correctly. One copy of the Glass Goddess. That's not too bad. The first name, I'm not even. Ninunururu. Okay, great. Rilionoa, the wondrous Magistus Witch Wardrobe. So this lets you bring something out from the deck, and that's obviously a very unique thing. It's very good. I mean, some archetypes do it, but any deck that can do this is great because it's just you can make the rank 4, which is with spellcaster monsters, and that's why I was using Exo Sister for a while because they are spellcaster monsters. And maybe I'll revisit it. I don't know. I just couldn't find the right ratios for it. Although technically, if you can just make this an Exo Sister, you could, just bring out Zero from it. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they do that. I think Exo Sister locks you in XYZs at some point, but yeah. That's where the whole idea came from. And then 3 copies of Moon Maiden. I've only ever gone into 2 really, so I guess this is another Pot of Prosperity thing that you could just take out. And then the side deck obviously just doesn't really matter. Okay, you can put whatever you want in there. I won't judge you. Let's take a look. I'll start with Whitewood. These are kind of more indicative of my most recent list. I'm only going to show a few. Some of them are just kind of dumb. My opponent misplays really badly. So just being able to get those Searcher, I can put the Witch into the graveyard. Now, unfortunately, the search does have to come from the field, but you can just Monster Reborn it. So in the end, it doesn't actually matter, whether or not what the effect is. And, it searches you something like Droll and Lockbird. That's really good. And then you get to do it every turn because Zeroa can just bring it back and you just keep Synchro Summoning. And then the next time, many of the times you can just go into Dragite, because you have follow-up. Inherently, you have your Artemis. So that's really neat, actually. He can't activate, Synchro monster effects. It's, better than Skill Drain. They can't even attempt to activate. It's just stuck there. I have plenty of stuff to do. Yeah, this is neat. You can search out the Monster Reborn, so I can go into Zeroa. I can equip this destroy spells and traps. I see the vision. It is definitely there. And in this case, this was pretty cool because, I opened it, which is weird. But when you open it, that just means that you can go into Michaelis, and, having a banishment during your opponent's turn is, really good because it's generic. I didn't need to bring this out from the deck, actually. That was just kind of dumb. I think I'm going to be short on damage, too. I should have held this and waited to, use Zeroa on it for sure. And I think I could have played that entire turn better, to be honest with you. Pretty sure I could have Monster Reborn. And well, I guess I did do that. I just have an extra body. I should have saved this. I do like going into this one because your opponent can't activate graveyard effects for the rest of the turn. It's just straight up a floodgate. And I searched Droll and Lockbird, right? And then the reason that you can use Dragite is because the Endymion monster is a water. So you're always going to go through it that way. This is against Fire Kings. Now, he does misplay, but I think I actually still have the answer anyways. You do, like I said, you run a lot of hand traps. So you're more than likely going to see at least one, but a lot of times you're going to see 2. It's 12, I think it comes out to. So he's going to try to use the Fire King. I have the other answer for it. Now, I do need to get something off the top because my hand's a little bit weird. And I think I get Crowley. So that is just literally the best card. Although a Very, I guess, would have done pretty much the same thing. And there you go. This is the cool part of the deck, right? I didn't have much, but I am going to be able to, put up my end board. And then I can still use the fusion too. I hard opened that. So I know that I'm playing Fire King at this point, so I'm pretty sure these are the only 2 that I need. I know this makes an XYZ, and then they just use generic Link support. So he can't go into SP Little Knight or something. I mean, he can, but it's not going to do much. Yeah, this is a Snatch Steal, the fusion. So it does come up. It is nice. Yeah, I think this is already messed up, but again, I had Called by the Grave, so I'm pretty sure even if he did go into the Snake Eye Ash, I would have been able to, work around that. He is going to be able to bring that back. He is going to pop that, but I'm still fine. I still can, do it, make that card again, and then equip. And I'm pretty sure Crowley, I have it in the graveyard. And then here we go, right? I can, take advantage of this card. I can search some follow-up, and then during my opponent's turn, no graveyard effects for Fire King. You can't use Link effects either, so that's definitely going to come up. So that's always a nice thing. And then I just get to attack per game. A little bit weird. Like I said, this is where I think the gap in the deck comes from. Where it's yeah, it's probably not the greatest thing in the world. Just having one guy up there. Now, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, but there's so many other effects in the game that will help you get around that. I did pass my turn. He let me go first. And first of all, I didn't have anything in my hand, so it kind of worked out. And I'm like, at this point, oh, this guy's obviously just playing Nuberon, right? So I'm going to use the Rilionona. I can't say it. I can search, and I'm going to be able to special summon this from my hand, so that's always a good thing. So it searches me one of the spells and traps. You know, it's almost always going to be the fusion, just because, you know, having Snatch Steal is good. And if you can time your plays correctly, you can bring out this and, like, you know, you can get one more equip out of it. Instead of just having 2, you'll have 3. But I was pretty sure I was playing Nuberon. This can't be destroyed by card effects, right? So all of these have little bonus effects. This one is imperm. Like, it's not a quick effect, and that really stinks. Just, I don't know, man. There's something about the versatility of this that I find, like, really appealing. Yeah, I can equip that. Like, that's cool. Like, I can complete the whole package there, and also, like, give it a big attack boost. Yeah, I do run the 1 copy of Nibiru, so it technically is worth trying to use Dragite. I was hoping to, like, end the game right there, but it didn't, wasn't able to. He did get a Kaiju, but that's okay. And you'll even see, like, I kind of like this duel for the reason that I can kind of make my way back. You know, you can just, like, equip again. This is just, you just have to destroy any, it doesn't have to be a monster, any Magistus card to bring it back. That's pretty neat. The other ones don't really matter. You get the idea of the deck. So that is Magistus. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.